After the monumental success of the original Starcraft, Blizzard was quick to seize the initiative, quickly greenlighting two official expansions for the game: Starcraft Insurrection, which was to be developed by Aztec New Media, and Brood War, to be developed by Blizzard and Sapphire. These expansions were planned to be released in the early summer and late fall respectively. Starcraft Insurrection has since fallen into the pages of obscurity, while Brood War went on to become a global icon, matching the success of the original game. Today, we're going to explore the history of Starcraft expansions, and why one failed and the other succeeded. Without further ado, let's get started. For those of you unfamiliar with Starcraft, allow me to set the scene. Released on March 31st, 1998, Starcraft was a real-time strategy game developed by Blizzard Entertainment. Taking place in the Cthulhu sector, Starcraft's story follows three races, the Terran, Protoss, and Zerg, as they battle each other for dominance. During development, Blizzard spent a lot of time making Starcraft a beginner-friendly RTS that was easy to learn and hard to master. While Starcraft was released to massive success and praise from all over the world, it was not without its problems. One major complaint from fans and critics was the lack of unit variety between factions. The factions in Starcraft were designed to be small, each having about 10 units. This was made worse by the fact that the game's design rendered many units completely inviable. Using any of these units in a game, be it PvP or PvE, would put you at a massive disadvantage. These issues extended into the game's campaign. Players felt roadblocked by the game's design. More often than not, a Starcraft match simply boiled down to creating the same units and an attack moving the objective. There was no room for creativity when 80% of your units were completely inviable. Factor this with the fact that the game's artificial intelligence was in fact unintelligent, made replaying the campaigns extremely boring. These criticisms were well known at Blizzard as work began on the game's expansions. Starcraft Insurrection would release first on July 31st, 1998, a mere 4 months after Starcraft released. Developed by Aztec New Media while Blizzard worked on the much larger Brood War expansion. Insurrection would be released to mediocre reviews, with critics and fans calling it low quality and unprofessional. As quoted by Greg Kasavin of GameSpot, Starcraft Insurrection is a hasty and unprofessional single and multiplayer supplement for the popular real-time strategy game, designed to prey on those who cannot wait for the forthcoming official add-on Brood War. Starcraft Insurrection would leave a sour taste in the mouths of fans, who rightfully felt cheated by Blizzard. Many became skeptical of the upcoming Brood War expansion, set to release in the fall of 1998. In order to generate hype for the upcoming expansion, Blizzard would host the Brood War beta tournament on November 14, 1998. The 16 best players at the time would compete against one another on the Brood War version of the game, getting to try out many of the new units and upgrades. This tournament also served as a way for Blizzard to tweak any issues with the PvP balance of the game, as well as make any last-minute changes before the expansion's November 30th release date. Brood War would finally be released on November 30th, 1998 to massive critical acclaim. Both fans and critics were blown away by the changes made by Blizzard, adding just enough new content to keep players entertained without damaging the game's delicate balance. With Jeffrey Chen of IGN being quoted as saying, "Brood War is a carefully designed sequel to the original, with a surfeit of new features that would satisfy even the pickiest of gamers." The success of Starcraft Brood War was in large part due to the many quality of life and balance improvements that were added. Each faction received a litany of new upgrades that were intended to improve existing units and new ones. Speaking of new units, I should probably talk about them. Each faction got a few new units to help fill in a gap within their roster. Terrans got the Medic, an infantry healer, and the Valkyrie, a powerful anti-air missile frigate. Zerg got the Burrowing Lurker and the anti-capital ship Devourer. Lastly, the Protoss received the Dark Archon, a powerful spellcaster, and the Corsair, a nimble anti-air skirmisher. Each faction would also receive many smaller balance changes to units, in an attempt to make them more viable more often. For example, the Goliath would receive an anti-air range upgrade which made them more proficient against carriers, guardians, and battlecruisers. Where Insurrection was rushed and lacked new features, all of the major changes made by Brood War were beloved by fans. The difference in quality between these two expansions is most evident by their campaigns. The story of Starcraft Insurrections runs parallel to the main game and follows a completely different set of characters, whereas Brood War's campaign is a direct sequel to the original, taking place after the defeat of the Overmind. Brood War's campaign is so well made that many consider it superior to the base game. The increase in quality can clearly be seen with the game's mission designs, as it was more creative and bold, as well as the new AI that controlled the enemy. The AI was smarter and could adapt to your strategies and unit compositions with effective counters. Many also praised Brood War's story. Since this video covers Brood War as a whole, I will only briefly touch on the campaigns. While the three campaigns of the base game focused on the fall of the Confederates, infestation of Kerrigan, invasion of Ire, and the death of the Overmind, the story of Brood War focuses on two major events. The UED's invasion of the Kapruler sector, where they dethrone Manx, decimate the Protoss, and tame the reborn Overmind, and Kerrigan's rise to power, as she manipulates, betrays, and kills her way to the top. Kerrigan's betrayal of the Protoss and the death of Phoenix is one of the best moments in StarCraft. Raynor's speech vowing to kill Kerrigan still gives me goosebumps.
No.
What are you worried about, Jim? He died the way all Protoss hoped to. In combat.
He died because you betrayed him. How many more noble souls do you need to consume before you're satisfied? How many more people need to die before you realize what you've become?
You don't even know what you're talking about, Jim.
Don't I? I'll see you dead for this, Kerrigan. For Phoenix, and all the others who got caught between you and your mad quest for power.
Tough talk, Jimmy. But I don't think you have what it takes to be a killer.
It may not be tomorrow, darling. It may not even happen with an army at my back. But rest assured, I'm the man who's gonna kill you someday. I'll be seeing you.
This video is already way too long for my taste, so let's wrap things up here by answering the question posed in the title. How to continue a franchise? This question is subjective and most definitely changes from franchise to franchise, but there are a few underlying factors that apply to all of them. Intent, quality, and care. A continuation of any piece of media, be it games, movie, or books, needs intent behind it. If the sole reason to make a sequel is for money or popularity, that will reflect in the product. Time must also be spent to make sure that the new product is high quality, especially if the original was a massive success. Taking time to learn from your past mistakes and applying that knowledge to your next work. Lastly, there must be some sort of care put into the product. If the people working on something don't care about the established world or characters, it will be noticeable in the final product. All three of these were checked off by Brood War. The intent was to make a continuation to improve on the strengths of the first game. These changes were high quality, and it is clear to see all of the care that went into Brood War. That's about all I have to talk about. The next video will be about StarCraft 2 or StarCraft Ghosts. It mainly depends on whether or not StarCraft Ghosts has enough info to warrant a video or not. Either way, I hope to see you next time. Please let me know what you think down below. Bye for now.